and welcome to the first episode of the Adventure Palace Chronicles. My name is Kim.
I'm Eric.
And we're going to tell you all about our adventures. We
Not all of them. But this one. Go ahead.
We've been living off and on in our 2018 Columbus fifth wheel since November of 2018. We started in California, Southern California, where we're from, and we traveled up to Northern California to San Francisco, and we traveled across the country where we landed in northern Georgia. We've been spending our time exploring the lakes and the mountains of Georgia, in between being with our kids and our grandkids. And we recently checked off a bucket list item when we spent a week in the Florida Keys. We had been dreaming of that for a few years now and made it happen, and it was amazing. We've been wanting to share our travels with everybody, and here we are. Now, one of our favorite places to camp so far has been Jetty Park Campground. It's called the Inlet, and it's on Port Canaveral in Cape Canaveral, Florida. It's beautiful. From one spot, we are within walking distance to the beautiful white sand beaches on the Atlantic side of Florida. We can walk to the fishing piers where you can see the sea turtles and the jellyfish, and right in front of our rig we can park our zero gravity chairs, grab a cocktail, and we can watch boat races, jet ski races. We've seen submarines, we've seen cruise ships, cargo ships. It's beautiful. Dolphins, turtles, all right in front of the rig. Now, the catch is that the inlet portion of Jetty Park Campground is basically no amenities. You have a big grassy area, and there are 23 sites. And by sites, I mean they just evenly space out 23 water faucets. And so you have to park in a spot next to a water faucet, and there you are. There's no electricity, there's no sewer, there's no Wi-Fi, none of that. So we're here to tell you today how we were able to spend 6 days this last time with no amenities.
Definitely wasn't our pick to stay there originally, because we wanted full hookups because that's what we're used to, and quite frankly, the thought of sitting out semi-boondocking for 5 days is frightening, because where's your electricity going to come from? How are we going to make coffee? Is our fridge going to stay on? Can we have lights on at night?
AC, because it gets warm in Florida.
And the air conditioning. So these are some of the challenges that we had to face and figure out. So with the help of a lot of the RV YouTubers out there, some research, we were able to, I think, use some of the things that we already had and build on that, and which made it successful. And like we'll show you in the video, we want it to be enjoyable. We don't want to be sitting out there sweltering heat and not being able to use our AC, your curling iron, watch television, have lights on, make coffee. So those were our challenges, and I think we did a pretty good job with what we had, and we kind of built on what was already there, and went from there and made some smart choices. I think learned from our mistakes. Power management was a thing we had to figure out, what to turn on, what to turn off. But we were there for 6 days, and I think it was entirely enjoyable.
It was really beautiful.
Yeah.
We were lucky that there was a nice breeze. There usually is in that part of the campground, but we did need AC a few times. But it was very beautiful. We had a great time, and the video that you're about to see of the power situation that we have was shot actually out at Jetty Park while we were using it. You ready?
For what?
To show them what we did?
With what?
We're going to show you how it worked.
Oh, that.
One of our favorite places to camp so far is the inlet at Jetty Park Campground at Cape Canaveral, Florida. We have been out for 6 days, and that we're going to show them how we did that. So first of all, what kind of setup do we have? What do we have out here that makes it possible for us to be out here with only a water hose?
Well, like most of the units, they come with the standard 2 batteries, so you can use your jacks, your awnings and whatnot, but in order to power what you need inside, you have to upgrade it. You probably have to have a good inverter. And so what we did is we upgraded the batteries. We went with golf cart batteries, 4 of them, and there is a battery bay down here for 2 12-volt deep cells, but in order to hold all 4 golf cart batteries, we decided to go with this. And this is not an original idea. This is something I think we saw from Changing Lanes, and they did the same thing. It is bolted down to the steel frame here, and it's vented. There is a drain hole below in case of a leakage, and they're vented out through here, and this is what they look like. So there they are from Costco. Just wired them. Part of our setup originally was that we had 2, like most RVs, the 12-volt deep cell batteries, which are sufficient for running your jacks and some small things, your 12-volt lights. But if you want to sit out and semi-boondock for several days, it's not adequate. So what we went with, and yeah, we could have gone with the lithium batteries, but we didn't have the budget for that. So what we did is we went with the golf cart batteries, and that was after researching again a lot of the YouTube videos of people that have already done this prior to us, doing some reading and research. I found out they're a little bit more durable than the 12-volt deep cell batteries. They hold their charge. You can drain them significantly, and they'll rebound faster. And they're just a more durable, robust battery than just the deep cells that were already in there. So we went with that route in order to power a 30,000 watt Renogy inverter. And we got the batteries from Costco, they're interstates. 410 amp hours total, and that was sufficient, I think, for the entire time we were there. And then from there, that powers our 3,000 watt Renogy inverter and our 250 amp breaker. We have our breaker, we have our 3,000 watt inverter, and then it's powered directly to the breaker box and has a remote on-off switch, so we can go in there and see how that works. To offset the batteries, also allowing us to charge the batteries, we went with a dual fuel generator inverter from Champion. It's 3,400 watts. It runs off propane and fuel, but because we use a diesel, we didn't want to be carrying around a gallon of gas or fuel that was only used for this. So we elected to go with the dual fuel unit, and we have it run right into one of our propane tanks, and it's electric start. This allows us to run an AC unit. It'll charge the batteries, basically run everything that we need to run inside the RV to be comfortable in these conditions, in this heat, humidity. So it's been great. So it has the 30 amp plug. You can get the adapter for it and use your RV's main line if you have a 50 amp. If you get two of these, you can run them in parallel and run the unit like you would if you were hooked up to electricity at a campsite. Here's your LP, runs through here, and I have just screwed into there. In order to shut it off, you just shut off the propane. That makes it sure that you have no propane on. So let's go inside and see what the inverter does when this is not on. So for purposes of instruction, I have shut off the inverter, but we have it hooked up to a transfer switch just here behind the breaker box. But the switch to it is right here. So once that is on, there's about a 20-second delay. You notice that the refrigerator is beeping because it has no AC. But once the inverter does kick on, the power's back into the unit. That should go back to being powered. The ceiling fan should come on. And there it goes. Ceiling fan's coming on. It's coming.
And the refrigerator is now on the inverter?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So we like to call this transfer of power. So once you are done with the generator, there's a transfer switch that's located right behind the breaker. It takes about 25 seconds, and then the inverter will kick in. Now you can see that the fans are on, the refrigerator is being powered. We use all our outlets, curling irons, if you're interested in that, work, all our lights. But it's important that you shut off the converter, because what you're going to be doing is charging your batteries with your inverter, which is using your batteries to power the RV. So it's this cycle you need to cut it off. When you're boondocking and you have your generator, you want your converter on so it'll charge your batteries, so at night when you want to switch to your inverter, you can have fully charged batteries and use whatever outlets not you need in here. It also powers the television, stereos, computers, everything else. So it's been nice, and it's allowed us to come out here and be out here for 6 days. I don't think we could have done it had we not had this set up. So they kind of complement each other, just when to use what. Obviously during the day you can run your generator, use your AC, and at night shut that off. Let the inverter do its thing, and still have your lights and television and everything else you want.
So there it is. We hope you really enjoyed the video and you learned something. And please stay tuned, because we are going to be shooting more videos and sharing more of our adventures and tips and tricks with you.
Absolutely.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Say bye.